All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Boss Talk Podcast. Today, I got an exciting guest, Nathan James. Thank you for coming on, bro. Appreciate you.
Thanks for coming down, my bro.
Go ahead and give the audience a little bit about yourself, bro.
Yeah, man. Probably generalize myself as just an artist, you know, because there's a lot of like art background that I currently do or have done. But my main thing is music, but again, it's all just artistry, just overall artists of all sorts and all kinds with creating all sorts of shit. So
Dope, man. What you working on right now?
Yeah, so right now I've been in the work since last May is going to be dropping my first album. It's Hollywood Mortician.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that because that's dropping July 11th, so less than a month. That's going to drop. And I, been shooting all the music videos and short form content, getting some tours lined up for the fall of this year. A lot of just different interviews and podcast stuff going on just with, trying to promote it and get it going. So
nice.
Lots of shit in the works,
That's good, bro.
That's what's up, my
bro.
We definitely need to connect with you on the media side, bro. That's another conversation off camera. So
yes, sir.
But what we normally do, and forgive me for not explaining this to you prior, because I explain this to every guest, is we start off with a boss talk and then we just get into whatever. So today's boss talk is going to be about self-value. Again, for anybody coming for the first time, never seen the show before, what we try and do here is give you boss game for people who are entrepreneurs running their own show. And we're giving you advice about how to navigate properly to be successul. Excuse me. I just went to sleep at 4 a.m., so my speech is going to be off.
Yep.
But anyway, self-value. A lot of times, we get into a situation, we meet somebody, maybe somebody we were waiting to meet a long time. Yeah. And when you get into that room, you're fanning out, maybe internally, maybe nobody else knows it, but you're fanning out. Like you're trying too hard for the opportunity. What you're doing at that moment is you're valuing that person more than you're valuing yourself. Right. You're looking at it like, I would be lucky to work with this person. I need this opportunity, instead of having the mentality that this person is going to be lucky to work with me. It's not a cockiness that you don't need to have. It's one you need to have, because you people, for whatever reason, they don't respond to the hunger properly. I just talked to you about this.
Yeah.
I'm a very hungry person. I love to work. I love opportunities. But for whatever reason, when I step into rooms with people and I tell them like, hey, we could do this, this, and this, it's not reciprocated versus when I just sit back and chill. Then all of a sudden opportunities come. People want to work with you, but they don't want to feel like they're helping you, which is strange because I love to help people, but people don't want to feel like they're helping you. They just want to feel like you're on the same level, same page already.
Right. Yeah, bro. I mean, I completely understand that. I mean, you guys know who I work with. I work with Big Boy. Bro, I meet all the celebrities, all the big time artists and everything like that, right? For me, when I step in the room, it's like, it's not the fact that I'm down here and they're up there. I need to approach the room like, no, I'm already on their level.
Because you are.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people also they do like gatekeeping in a way where they don't want to bring people up with them, And for me, like, if you're solid with me, bro, I'm going to bring you up with me.
Right.
Because that's where we need to be.
Well, LA is the city of gatekeeping, that's for sure. But then what's another, like a definition of self-value is self-respect. And if you don't have that self-respect for yourself first, you can't respect anybody else. So like you said, bro, if you're in a room and you're meeting someone trying to do something, that chilling, that just keeping yourself the way you are is going to beat the trying too hard for working, or like to get like, oh, let's work with this, let's work with that. That's all a wrap. Like if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. Right. Keep yourself as the way you are and things are going to flow smoothly. You try to people notice it. That's what it is. Like people see he's trying too hard and they don't want to work with stuff like that. And it's just human nature. They want to work with someone, like you said, that's on their level, so to speak.
Right.
But that's just where it's at for me. Yeah. What about you, bro?
Well, for me, right, I've been in Los Angeles now for 8 years, right? Moved from Denver to LA. And when I moved here, I didn't know anyone in the entertainment industry, right? My biggest thing was knowing that, hey, a lot of these people who already have stuff going for themselves in their career, right? They only want to fuck with people and work with people who also have some sort of something to contribute to what they're doing or something that they don't have but want, right? So for me, I went internally and said, okay, what are my skill sets that I can offer someone else, give them my skills, give them my craft, and then in return, that's where, you know, you'll start to reap the benefits from where they're at as well, you know, but it can't be a transactional thing of I do, they do. It's just got to be, you know, here's what I'm good at. Here's what I'm able to offer them for what they need. And I think a lot of people go into business with the mindset of like, hey, I can give you this. I can offer this and do this. But not one time did you ask them, what is it that you need? And you're going to save yourself so much time and you're going to trim so much fat by just asking someone you want to work with or do stuff with, hey, what is it that you would want right now in your career? Or what is it that you want in your business? Or what is it, you know, that you want to, you know, excel in or get better at? Or what is it that your business needs? Or simply the question of what do you need? And then seeing what you could offer, or maybe a connection you have of what someone else could offer, and you could bring that connect to them, you know? And so I started to do that with my photography. You know, my content creation skills of doing all the photography work I've done, you know, from big brand campaigns to Gucci, Puma, Nike, massive, you know, rock artists, hip hop artists, you know, name them all. I've done it. And so I had that to offer, but I didn't have the super high level of clientele that I do now, you know. I just had, I'm a lit ass fucking photographer, videographer, director who can, you know, give you that content that you need. Right. So, and a lot of people need content, especially now, right? Everyone needs content in some sort of business. So I had a massive upper hand of being able to provide that, you know, content and
that
slowly,
service.
you know, I've slowly built on that. And that just, you know, that camera was a key to open so many doors. It was a key to get access into so many places that you just can't get access in. Now, granted, right, there's tons of people who are photographers, right? But where I separated myself was I always said, I'm going to be the Gucci of photography.
Exactly.
Designer of photography. Sure, there's a lot of other photographers, but they're not as good as my shit. Right. You know, and I turned the Nathan James brand into, you know, a luxury item.
There you go.
You didn't want that other photographer, even though he costs less and, you know, not as good. Fuck, you wanted to pay more to have better and say that Nathan James shot it. Like I created this this stigma, this positive stigma around the name Nathan James, you know, is shooting it. And so that's what really helped the brand grow, you know, and then that transitioned me into, you know, me being a musician. You know, I knew so much of the ins and outs on the back end of the business end of, you know, doing all these content creation and everything like that. And when I did my first ever photography gallery, I said, what would be another art element I could add to the photographs other than just, you know, another photography gallery? And that's why I said, what if there were songs that correlate with each photograph? Right. And I'm the one who's like performing the songs, singing the songs. And I made these 6 songs, sucked ass. They were terrible. But I was like, wow, I love this. I want to get good at this. I want to make this my number one thing. And so, you know, I've been doing that now for the past 5 years. Everything's been going really good with the music stuff. It's continuing to grow. It's the scale is tipping and like things are starting to happen. And, you know, 5 years of being a musician is very young, you know, baby it. So I'm really proud of where I've gotten in these 5 years, you know, and I feel like just really only the past 2 years, I kind of figured out what my sound is and what I'm trying to do as a musician. Yeah. So that's kind of how it all, you know, comes together. And that's where, like, you know, knowing how to move in the business realm of things is so key. Is like you said, people can get so thirsty for an opportunity and keep saying, hey, I can do this for you, but that person may not need that.
They don't even need it.
And it's okay, because if they don't need it,
they
then be the guy who can find the guy that they need.
Right.
You know, you can always be of value somehow.
Yep. Isn't that such a beautiful thing too? It's like you see where you start and then you see where you're at now.
Yeah.
And then all that work is paying off, right? Like we go through so much struggles as artists, whatever we're doing, right? People don't realize, like, even like this, what we're doing right here today, we don't get paid to do this. We do this because we're artists, because we love to do it, you know? And the thing is that a lot of people, they don't like to invest in themselves, but they want to complain about where they're not in their life right now.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah. No, it's the real shit. I mean, the biggest thing that prevent people from excelling as an entrepreneur or, you know, working for themselves is just fear.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start making decisions based on passion and not fear, that's when shit starts to happen for you.
Yeah.
But so many fear-based decisions hold people back. You know, every decision we make is made from fear, right? Shit, should I go buy this house? Oh man, I don't know. What if this happens? Oh, the money, this, fuck, I don't know. Should I buy this car? Should I ask this girl out? Should I ask this guy to work on this project, to be on this song? Should I fucking go to the gym now? What if I'm tired tomorrow? My leg hurts. What if, you know, I don't, so many decisions are based on fear, right? So when you eliminate fear and just move off of passion, I think that's when the magical shit starts to happen.
You know what? It's good that you say that. I had reached a point in my life too where I switched it around and I started doing things off of like art. That's what I rather than saying like passion, I say art. So like when I create music nowadays, it's more so about how is this artistic? I want to make sure, and I'm focused on that. I'm not focused on trends. I'm not focused on, you take these things into consideration because as you said, there's like a business aspect to it as well, but it's more so about the art form and being original. I think that even for you to create your brand in the manner that you're talking about, the Nathan James brand, you know, and then I noticed little things too. You said it repeatedly. It's going to be said repeatedly. They're going to hear it. They're going to remember it, you know? And I like that, man. Like I like the direction that you're going. And I think for this podcast in particular, again, for people who are never watched this before, what you need to understand is this: there's different levels of being a boss. And you got to start somewhere. So the moment you start to take life by the horns, by the reins, whatever yourself, you are automatically a boss at that moment. It's just, you just may be a low level one, but you got to keep leveling up. And these things that you're hearing is exactly what it takes. These are the things that I hear in the circles that I'm in. These are the things that maybe I thought like, maybe I don't need to do this or do that. Trial and error. We know that this works. This is how you do it. And so you have to be passionate, as he's stating. And you have to look at it from that standpoint of love. It's so true. You cannot move in fear. That, like, I can't even stress to you how important that was, you know, what you're saying about not moving in fear. You could miss out on so many opportunities because you're scared.
So many. So fucking many. My God, right? So many.
To be honest with you, to say one thing, you know, this podcast wouldn't even exist if I was afraid, because I would have never met him, because me and you being from the same lodge, and I'm the only African-American in that lodge. Imagine
there's another one now too.
There's another one, but I was the first, by the way. And, you know, I was the first one.
The OG.
It's me. Yeah, it's me, right? And I'm walking in and it's a bunch of white men and I'm, you know, and it's not my environment, what I'm used to, like older, like obviously everybody's suited, but I'm just like from the streets and everything else. And I'm just in here and I just feel mad uncomfortable. It's like scary, but I'm telling myself, if I feel uncomfortable, then I'm in the right place, because you can't grow being comfortable.
Yeah, you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
And that, you know, long story short, to wrap that up, that is, you know, the reason that me and him were able to meet. And me and you already knew each other. And then we get to the point, and then we meet Max here, and he's in media, and it just, you know,
it flows.
Here we are.
It all worked out. But I like the way you explained everything too, bro. Like, I was gonna be the Gucci.
Yeah.
That's the words, that's the affirmations of a winner. You feel me? If someone's like, I just want to do it for the money, bro. Like, I just want to get a salary. But you're like, no, I'm trying to make this into a statement.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it into like something close to like it's a lifestyle brand. You feel me? Like, you're not just doing like Nathan James is the way people are going to want to live. That's the way other photographers are going to want to base their way of taking the pictures.
Yeah.
And that's how I've always looked at every business I try to do. Anything we're in. Boss Talk is pretty much like a lifestyle brand. One in a million. My own company I have on the site is a lifestyle brand. It's the way of going about it. And I like the way you like explained it straight up.
Yeah.
That is the way of a winner. And I guarantee, and I know for a fact, you were saying this out loud to yourself before you even did anything.
Yeah.
Those positive affirmations, making that words manifest into reality, which it is now. So
yeah. And that's what happened. And here's the craziest part. We talk about like not making fear-based decisions, right? Think about this. I had gotten my photography brand, which it still exists and I still do, but I don't do as much of it anymore because, you know, it's just my main focus is music. I guess you could say I do all that content creation more so for myself now, you know? But man, talk about shooting A-list artists, celebrities, and A-list brands. Everything is set. Couldn't be more overbooked. Tons of demand for me as a photographer and, you know, my creation, you know? And I said, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to put everything aside and I'm going to focus all my time on starting completely over and something I'd never done before.
And how scary is that?
Musician. And that was scary as fuck, right? And I'm still in that process of, you know, getting to the top, but I've tipped the scale. As photography was here, right? And music was here. I said, okay, I want to tilt that scale to be like this. And it needs to happen exactly like this, where when this side starts to go up, this side starts to tilt, or else I'm not going to get out of here.
That's
you know, because I had, you know, all the money that I've made from photography. That's how I'm living. That's how I'm investing, you know, into my musical craft. And, you know, when you start out with music, you're not making money, you're spending it.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, so I was essentially my own label from my photography career in terms of funding. And I was like, shit, as this funding's getting lower, I got to be starting to make money here in the music, you know, and that's what happened. But before that happened, man, I went into thousands of dollars in debt, you know, but I kept believing. And I didn't care because I was like, I don't give a fuck about the money and the comfortability of money. I care about just wanting to fucking make and do what I want to do. That's more important.
Right.
You know? And when you do that and you're 100% in, I'm a firm believer of when you're fucking 100% in and you will go to when the bank account is negative fucking $45,000, you're going to somehow come back up.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I did, and I'm still coming. You know, like I was like $75,000 in debt.
Yeah.
Liquid negative $75,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I all came up. It all came back more. You know, then it was the opposite, you know?
Right.
And it's just a constant teetering game. You know, but if you love it and you're invested into it, just keep doing it. Because at the end of the day, when we are no longer living on this earth, right? I want to be able to look in the mirror and say, man, I enjoyed what I did here.
Exactly.
I wasn't fearful of just trying to make fear-based decisions to be comfortable on this, you know, bullshit lifestyle. You know?
And then we all have those negative thoughts too, though.
Yeah.
When it's going wrong.
Yeah.
How do you?
Fuck yeah. I have negative thoughts every day. You know, we all do.
There's times where it's like, man, like, is this really gonna work out? Like,
fuck yeah.
Look where, you know, but you see it. You see the vision and you see how far you've come, but the money still ain't coming.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like for now, right? Money comes, but it goes just as quick.
Right.
Exactly.
In 20,000, out 20,000, you know?
Because you're constantly investing into yourself.
You know, like the last tour I was on, you know, I made a good amount of money, but I didn't profit anything because I was, you know, negative 3K. So I generated a lot of money, but I didn't profit any money.
Right.
But I also didn't really lose much money. So there's that silver lining of like, well, fuck, I just employed, you know, 5 motherfuckers for 35 days. That's great. You know what I mean? I generated that money to do that. Now, I didn't make any money myself. I lost a little, but shit. The next step is going to be I'm profiting now.
But you know what though? That's okay. So, you know, that's the thing for us as well too. We're bringing on more employees into our company. And it's like, you know, we're burning more, but you know, we're employing
You're also
people.
growing more.
Yeah.
We're growing. Yeah. We're growing and, you know, we get to sit here and do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about it is you get to do what you love, you know, and what you're passionate about, returning back to passion. It's crazy, you know, as you guys know, I just released the album myself. It's been about 5 years since I put anything out. And you, like you said, it's expensive, bro. It's expensive making music. So all the studio time, all of the
producers, engineers, mix, mastering, content, music videos, outfits, wardrobe,
all of that.
Everything.
No sleep.
No sleep. And this was probably for anybody out there who's curious to know, out of everything I've ever done, because I released the album maybe like 2 weeks ago or something like that. Prior to that, those 2 weeks was the most chaotic 2 weeks of my entire life. Because I had a goal that I was trying to reach. I was trying to release on a specific deadline and shoot the music video and edit the music video. So thank you to everybody who was a part of that, because you guys had to really put in work. Moses, shout out to Kev for staying up late to mix and master to make sure that stuff was done on time. Shout out to my wife for her assistance and understanding. Just anybody that was involved. Shout out to my daughter for the cover art of that of this project. But it was so much invested into it. And no, I'm not really earning anything off of it, but I'm so proud of it. I'm so satisfied with the way that it turned out. And it's crazy because it becomes a tool in itself. So when I step into certain rooms, I don't just tell people I'm a rapper and show them something from 5 years ago, 10 years ago or whatever. I step into a room and first of all, I just conduct business and we just talk as people. And if we connect and we get to that point, now I have something to show you, something current. And it is opening doors for me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm going upstairs. I'm getting closer to the staircase to start leveling up, or whatever the case is. So, yeah, man, you got to be willing to invest in yourself. You have to be willing to lose, and you have to do what he's saying, which is like not care about that, because that's not why you were here. If you were here just to make money, then I mean, I guess.
If you're looking to just make money and have no stress, work a 9 to 5.
Right, exactly. Because you're gonna work,
and that's okay.
Regardless.
That's okay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But if you want to do what you want to do, there's gonna be a lot of stress, and there's gonna be a lot of tears, and there's gonna be a lot of joy. But at least you'll be doing what you want to do.
And my bad for everybody. That's Westside Drills, Javon. I've been waiting we didn't film for 2 weeks, and I've been trying to get this announcement out for so long. So go check that out. Westside Drills by Javon is everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, all of that. So
make sure they check it out. But I want to ask you, so the genre you're in, from what I could tell, is rock.
Yeah.
For preparation for this specific episode, I listened to Chop Suey about 54 times coming down here. I replayed Chop Suey before you came. What would you say your subgenre in the genre of rock is?
Yeah. So, I would say it's, rock metal, metal rock, whatever, right? It's in that ballpark of, it's more metal based.
Yeah.
But it's a mixture of, hip hop and metal.
Interesting.
Bro, you got bars, by the way.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Listen to your stuff, bro.
Yeah, it's a combination of both. I would say it's like a heavier, more modern Marilyn Manson.
That's
with,
what I was looking at.
A Suicide Boys.
Do you feel like people, when they listen to your music, that they know that there's that hip hop element, or do you feel okay?
For sure.
I knew, but I was wondering, because I feel like a lot of times when it comes to rock that I've listened to, I'll hear elements of other genres, and I'm like, I wonder if the audience is catching this, or are they just liking it for what it is?
Yeah, I mean, we all know this, right? There's different types of listeners. There's people who fucking know nothing about any, genres and subgenres. They're like, this sounds good, I like it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And most people, I think, listen like that. Just the average person is like, this is cool, So, for me, I never tried to say, I want to make this type of genre. It just slowly kind of naturally came into play.
Right.
First, when I first started, it was more kind of emo rap, and then it was kind of pop punky, and then it was a little heavier, and then now it's like this blend of, honestly, what's most true to me, which is like hip hop and metal, which is what I grew up on. And I feel like what I'm doing has just a newer sonic twist to it, especially everything that's going to be on this album. All these new songs are just
when is it? When are you planning on releasing this album? Is there a date for it yet?
Yeah, July 11th.
Okay.
Yep. So it's coming up. And the whole concept of the name Hollywood Mortician, we can all relate to, living in LA, is it's just like everybody is out to get everybody. There's a slab of meat on the floor, and we're all dogs trying to go get that same piece because we all want that trophy.
Right.
And I have dealt and seen so much of that stuff, either secondhand or personally, since living here. And so a lot of these songs are always on the defense of having to, defend your own self and self-worth, because there's other people always telling you, fuck you, or trying to bring you down, or be shiesty, or, do sly things behind your back. And so that's where that whole idea of Hollywood Mortician, came about, because there's so many fake motherfuckers just ready to bend over backwards to get wherever they need to go. And I am not that.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I don't have a big friend circle, because a lot of those people, again, they're chameleons.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They will adapt to be in whatever situation they need to fit in. It's like fucking high school popularity.
Yeah, like be yourself,
100%.
be genuine, be authentic.
Yeah, and when you do that, when you're genuine and authentic, your world and your circle gets real small.
Way smaller.
And I'm okay with that. But everybody wants friends, whether you say it or not. Everyone wants genuine, good people, friends who care about you. Other than your mom or your dad or your family.
100%.
And so, I think LA has tarnished a lot of people. Everyone has this preposition like thought process of what people are like in LA, right? There's that stereotype, but there are good people everywhere and there are bad people everywhere. There are loyal people, disloyal people everywhere. And just trying to weed those things out is tough. And that's why I always say, I think we've all heard it. It's just, I just trying to blow up and act like I ain't know nobody. You know what I mean? Like, that's like my kind of, MO
Said,
of
don't
that
forget the
stuff.
little guy. We already forgot about you, buddy.
But for me, hey, as much as I say that, right, I love fucking with good people.
Exactly. Yeah.
God damn, man, because there's so many times where like in my business of both the photography and the music stuff, man, you run into motherfuckers with just egos out the ass. And so I always said to myself and always made it, I'm never judging what someone has or doesn't have. Mm-hmm. I'm just always human to human 24/7.
There you go.
Equal playing field, human to human.
Yep.
And I think that's the best way to go about things. Just human to human, man. You're not better than me. I'm not better than you. It's just human to human. No matter where things are at the end of the day, it's just human to human.
100%.
Yeah.
So a couple things you said, bro. The first one about the realer you get, especially in the dirty industry that we're in, it's very hard to find good people in the line of work that we're in, entertainment. The realer you get, the smaller your clique's going to become, or even your friendship's going to become. But like, as you said, human to human, I 100% agree with that. When you meet someone individually, George Carlin says it best. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but he's like, you could almost see the universe through someone's eyes when you meet them individually. And it's like so much more of a beautiful experience. But then once people start aligning themselves with groups or aligning themselves with said ideologies, that's when things can become so dirty. And you forget, like you said, that human to human interaction goes to waste. And now people are willing to put even some of the things that they do believe to the side for the advantage of that group or whatever it is, right? Whether it's they want to be in a group of, let's say, that entertainment industry to crack through and to become a rapper. Because at the end of the day, those are all groups, are they not? To get into that field or do what you got to do. But I agree for sure, bro. You got to look at people human to human. Drop all the, in my opinion, politics, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're a good person, you're a good person, but you're going to show it through actions. You're not going to show it through your words. You're going to do it. It's going to be done. But another thing I want to bring up, since we have all this going on, I know you want to talk about it, so we might as well just bring it up, is what's going on in LA right now. And I just wanted to ask what everybody's thoughts are on it regarding ICE, regarding the protests. Are they riots? What's going on? We're in LA. Yeah, we could say we're on ground zero. We could say what's going on. But I want to ask everyone here firstly, what do you guys think? Where do you guys lie? What do you think is going on truly?
Well, what do you think? Let's start there.
Well, I personally think that, and I've always said it and I'm going to say it again. I like Trump. I voted for Trump. I can care less what anybody thinks about that. What I do think though, is that people shouldn't be getting teared apart from their families. It's not right. It's not. And the only way that I was able to understand, like to put myself through it more, was a situation I told you about.
Right.
My cousin came in from Armenia seeking asylum into the country of, obviously, America. And they put him through immigration jail in Louisiana. Homie's been there for like a year and they keep extending his trial. Worst situation ever. Like, he's in hell. That jail is like hell, bro. You got nowhere to sleep. Normally it's not a good place to be whatsoever. It's not county, but it's still not a good place to be, whatever. We finally thought he was going to get his, like, the judgment day, and we're going to finally find out after a year of him going through hell. The guy goes in there and like, they waste his time for another hour and they're like, yeah, we're going to extend you for another 3 years. So what did my cousin do? He's like, fuck this, self-deport.
Yeah, 3 years are wild.
That's what I'm saying. So not 3 more years. Sorry. Did I say years?
You
I
did
meant
say
months.
years.
Months,
Okay,
months. Sorry.
even then,
Excuse
but
me.
yeah.
Excuse me. I meant to say month. So that kind of opened my eyes too. And then I kind of put myself in the foot of the homies Rasa. And I'm like, if God forbid someone were to, if my mom was, let's say, illegal or whatever, okay, yeah, it's breaking the law. We're not talking about laws right now. We're talking about morals. I'm not going to mix laws and morals because they're two different things. But if God forbid something, I don't even want to make the example upon myself, but I know that I would, some shit, I wouldn't be taking it lightly.
Right.
So to say blowing up cars or blowing up a city is right or wrong is a different case from talking about the human psychological state in that situation where they're like, bro, I just lost my mom and I don't give a fuck. So it's two different things. For me to say is it right or wrong, me, I like going very strategically. God forbid something were to happen, I'm going tactically because I want my voice to be heard and my cause to be pushed out all the way. And I want the same for the Mexicans, the Hispanics, anyone who's going through this ICE bullshit right now. I want their voice to be heard.
Right.
I want their cause to be met correctly. I said it from the get-go. I don't think blowing up cars is the right way of going about it. I really don't think that is. I don't think that causing all these things going on in the city of LA is the best way of going about it. But can we blame them?
Right.
Now, when you try to put yourself in the shoes of these people that are losing moms, grandmas, aunts, uncles, people they grew up with their whole life, and then you're like, oh, does it make sense? It makes a lot of sense.
Well, you and I have had back and forth about this, on the phone and whatnot. We got into even serious arguments about this. And then we calmed back down and understood. And the whole thing about it is, like, what are we talking about? Are we, like you just pointed out, are we talking about right and wrong? Are we talking about, like, what do you expect from a human being? Because if we're talking about right or wrong, I think even the rioters themselves, if you ask them, do you think it's right for you to blow this car up? They're going to tell you this is not right. If you ask somebody, first of all, I think there's people who are tangling themselves in this situation that don't have to do with it. I do believe there are looters who have nothing to do. They have no concern. They just see an opportunity. They're
of course,
because I've seen some people looting stores like on video, and I'm like, I can tell this person does not care about what's going on, like, whatsoever.
They're just like, let's rob some shit.
Let's rob some. They were robbing yesterday. This is a good day to rob today. That's how they see it.
And some people are also just anarchists, bro. Like you said, they like just to see the city burn. They're on some Joker shit, and they're like, oh, they're blowing some shit up. Let's go blow it up too.
But my thing is just that what it comes down to is, if we're gonna be outraged, because there's a bunch of things you got to choose your battles, right? So it's like, am I mad because they're chopping down too many trees in the Amazon? Am I mad because we are having a drought in California? There's different levels of things that you want to focus on. For me, when I don't see people outraged at families being torn apart, but then I see them outraged that, like, look what he did to that car. That's when you lose me. I'm like, but what about the family? You know what I mean? What about the households? Because I've seen some stuff that is just so tragic that it's bothered me. And even speaking on your cousin, I never met your cousin. I don't even know if I would like the guy, right? I'm not.
You would love him.
But I'm just saying, for context, anybody who's watching this, I never met him, don't even know if I would like him. But when you were telling me about this, and I don't know why, because I'm a pretty, like, I feel like strong person. I told you it brought tears to my eyes. And I don't know why. I mean, I guess you explained to me why, but it's like, because I'm a human being and I don't like to see anybody in any situation of suffering or being oppressed or it's all crazy to me, man. I just was on a podcast yesterday with Mo, the No Names one, and we talked about this. I feel like it's very racial. I know that it's racial, the way that this is going about. And for the people who didn't watch the No Names podcast, I'll re-explain to you today how I know it's racial. My father works for ICE. He didn't believe that it was necessarily racial. Again, he's not an agent, though. It's for anybody. My dad is not out there handcuffing nobody, pulling up in vans, masked up. He's doing none of that. My dad transfers paperwork. And I tell him, I'm like, yeah, they're harassing Hispanic people. They're harassing Mexicans. and they're not doing anything to anybody of any other immigrants of any other race. And he's like, no, that's not true. They just, busted like 30 Asians in this underground ring of whatever it was, gambling, whatever. And I said, exactly, that's my point. Those people were criminals and they were caught in the act of doing something wrong. But on the other hand, you got ICE out here on farms, chasing down people on farmland, pulling up to Home Depot, chasing down people who are just trying to work, going into grocery stores, just graduations, all the places. I thought we were going after MS-13. I thought we were trying to get gang members. I ain't seen them arrest one gang member. Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I have not seen none of that. I be seeing old ladies, pregnant women. You have, okay.
But that's not what the media is going to show you.
But what they don't do, again, remember, my pops is working for ICE and he's confirmed to me. He's telling me the people that are getting caught up of other races are criminals. And they're the only ones who, nobody's being harassed in that. They're not pulling up to 99 Ranch Market and harassing Asian people who are grocery shopping when we know that there's a gang of, and I'm not trying to throw nobody under the bus because, but there's a gang of people who have overstayed their visa. And I don't hope that you guys get harassed. I'm just pointing out that that's the clear indication of the racism, that they are harassing a specific group of people. My phone is blowing up on a constant basis with the Ring app, like ICE is over here, ICE is over here, ICE is over here. And it's all Hispanic areas and neighborhoods. And I don't want to get too much long-winded. I feel like I stated my point about how I feel about this.
Yeah, we did a whole episode yesterday on it. So
yeah, but I had to get it out here. I don't know who's seeing it.
You got to say it on Boss Talk too. You're the compa of the show. What do you mean, bro? You got to tell us what you think.
No, I mean, it's a fucking sad thing for sure. I agree with getting the immigrants out that are committing crimes. But these people are over here doing their job, paying taxes. They're not doing
a massive amount of taxes too.
Yeah, a massive amount. And they're underpaid, but they're still here. Imagine what happens when you take away everything. Who's going to work those jobs? Who's going to do all the roofing? Who's going to work all these construction sites? Who's going to, all of that, bro? Who's the cooks? Every fucking restaurant in LA, who are the cooks? Mexicans.
Right.
I think it's real simple of just, the problem is not simple, but the short of it is with anything, problem, solution. And there's a problem and there needs to be made a solution, and the solution is not tearing families apart, and doing all this crazy shit. Again, human to human, if people are criminals or if they or illegal, I don't know, there's just got to be a better solution, other
of
than
weeding it out, right?
Yeah, other than just what's going on right now.
Yeah, they're just grabbing whoever they see.
Yeah, yeah, it's like fucking grab and grow, tag you're it,
They're literally kidnapping.
Yeah, and it's wrong. I don't know what the solution is, but I know there's a problem and there needs to be a solution.
Yeah,
and
you know what? It's like at the end of the day, I don't think that it's a thing where everybody needs to know what the solution is. I just think that we all need to recognize what it is that we're seeing and be on the same page.
True.
That's not right. Like, hold on a second. Because it's just really disheartening if there are people who are seeing this and they're just like, so what? So what? They're illegal. And it's like, why do you feel so superior? Like, why do you feel so superior? I get it, right? But I also don't get it because I'm like, I don't know. My religious beliefs will never lead me to the point of feeling like somebody doesn't deserve what I have.
Yeah.
That's the simplified, point. And I guess the reason it bothers me so much is because we live in a country that claims to be Christian. And then there's the main people I see who are non-empathetic are the same people who claim to be Christian. That's where it doesn't make sense.
I see that a lot.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And that goes to judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That goes to judgment. And talk about judgment, man. I mean, we've all been judged in our own ways for things. I mean, specifically for me with what I do, people think I'm a devil worshiper.
Yeah.
Or, I do crazy things. And,
occult practices.
Drugs and all this shit. And when the reality is I've never smoked in my life. I've never consumed alcohol in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done any drugs, and the hardest drug I've done is Advil.
Okay.
Damn, bro.
Chill out, bro. Relax. No, just
You know,
not for our viewers. Don't let them.
I do want to ask you: is there a reason for that? Is there something that you went through as a child, or is it just something that you never?
you know, I get asked out every time I tell people I don't smoke and I don't drink, and I've never drank or never smoked in my life. I always get asked, is there a reason, right? I wish I had a reason, but my reason is just I've never wanted to do it. And when I was younger, I was so afraid of it. And I think that was a good time to be fearful of something, you know, because a lot of bad comes from that. But yeah, I was so afraid of it. And I didn't like the idea that something would alter my mind.
There you go.
That tripped me out. I didn't want none of that. And then when I became older with it, I was like, yeah, I don't do that stuff, you know? So that's really the main reason, you know? And there's a ton of reasons for it. Health benefits, you know?
Of course, bro.
Not a lot of good comes from being drunk or being high, doing drugs.
I wish I never picked up cigarettes when I was like 13 years old. I wish I never started drinking at like, I wish I never did any of that. I probably would have been as tall as you are, bro. I'm over here we're kicking it at that famous 5'7", which fun fact, me, Al Pacino, Moses, and Vladimir Putin, all 5'7".
Is he really?
So,
That's crazy.
Hey, you would think Vladimir Putin's tall, dog. This was like 5'7".
He keeps short people around him.
No.
Hey Nathan, what keeps you going, bro? What keeps you going towards your dream, towards where you want to get in life? Like, do you have an end point?
Yeah.
Or do you see that?
I think anytime someone has goals, right? You could say, hey, in 10 years from now, I want this. But the reality is, man, so much changes in just a year that to try to project 10 years, 5 years in advance is not really realistic, in my opinion. So for me, my biggest thing that I know that I want always is I always want to be happy and I want to be healthy and I want to be doing what I love doing. Whatever that is, you know? Peace.
There you go.
Peace, man.
That's it.
Good definition.
Happiness to me is just fucking peace.
Right.
And it's the healthy challenges in life, you know, trying to build something and create something, you know, and right now I'm having so much fun with just the musical adventure, you know, and I'm just thankful for what I have. I always want more. We always want more, no matter what we have. We always want more. Right. So I will always fight for more and work hard for more, but I also got to make sure I take a step back and be appreciative of what I do have, you know, and that goes for everybody out there who's doing whatever it is that they're doing out there. You know?
Right.
But what keeps me specifically going, right, is the mindset. You know, my mindset is what really keeps me going, you know, and I've always acquired, I don't remember how I thought of this. I think I was just thinking of shit when I was a little kid one day, and I'll never forget, it came out of my mouth, King Kong state of mind, you know? And I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Whatever I do, King Kong state of mind.
King Kong ain't got
my dick's gonna sway to my fucking ankle and I'm gonna come in here and fuck shit up. You know? Like that was like the, you know, the psychological process of just, I can do it. Nothing can stop me. I can do it, you know? And I guarantee you, man, if you try for the next 30 days and really like commit to like King Kong state of mind, like you're that motherfucker, just watch so much good shit start to happen. Well, you know, just thinking I can't be stopped opens up so many doors that you never even thought about, that if you give it 30 days, at the end of those 30 days, you're going to realize like, holy shit, this wouldn't have happened if I just didn't think this strong mentality of I fucking got this, you know? So I always try to embrace that. But the caveat to that is we're fucking human and we all have times where we think the complete opposite of King Kong state of mind. Exactly. And that's the battle. You're battling King Kong state of mind and I fucking suck. Yeah, you know what I mean? So you gotta be aware of both, but you gotta try to live in that King Kong state of mind as much as possible.
You gotta train your mind to be that way.
Yeah.
I think
to fight the negative.
The way what he's saying, again, you will notice the more that you take control of your own life and you're doing things and you're being your own boss or somebody else's boss or whatever the case is, you will notice a pattern of things. My favorite word is peace. And I know when I'm dealing with somebody who has an understanding of life when they use that word, because when somebody has a young mindset, they don't use the word peace. You ask them like what they want and they start naming things. Yeah. And it's like, you have no idea how much better peace is than all those things that you just named.
The value of peace cannot be beat.
It cannot. And so,
man,
it also with what you just said with like that mindset, right? And it's funny because I was just talking to my daughter about this. I'm telling the viewers that what he's saying is 100% factual.
Straight up.
And I know he has that mentality, and I know you have that mentality, and I have it. And we couldn't even be here if everybody didn't have it. You have to develop this mentality, of whatever it is, whatever giant force or strong force that you need to tell yourself you are, you need to be that, and you need to do it. And that's not how you need to approach situations. I was telling my daughter this because she's an artist. I've seen her draw incredible things, and I'm trying to tell her like, hey, all right, now she's trying to sell, and be like on Fiverr or wherever else doing art pieces for other people. And she did something and it looked so lightweight in comparison to what I've seen her do. Again, she drew my album cover. So I'm telling her, I'm like, what are you doing? You have my DNA in you. You need to go out here and kill this. You need to be on offensive. You need to not sit here and be fearful. You need to attack every situation. And so I just second that. What you're saying, it's a required quality. You will not get nowhere being timid and thinking like, I hope they let me in. No, you need to kick down doors. That's what you have 100%. To do.
Yeah.
That's literally like, you're not going to get it, and especially in this industry, bro. If you don't think you are the best, you are number one, you're never going to make it. I don't care how talented you are. You need to have that mindset.
Here's a real life story. Like you said, it doesn't matter how talented you are, right? You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're timid and afraid to put yourself out there, no one will know and it will go nowhere.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And a real life scenario of that is when I first started photography, right? Obviously, I wasn't very good. I didn't know how to work the camera, this, that, the other. But I said, I'm going to learn. I'm going to be very good. I'm just got to figure it out. I was sneaking in the venues and nightclubs, shooting different artists. That's how I first started out with that type of photography. And I'll never forget, man, the first photo shoot I ever did, okay? I just knew nothing about photography, nothing. I just said, I got to start somewhere. I'm going to do it. I do this first photo shoot. The next day, I'm out at this lounge, okay? I'm dressed in this crazy, like yellow stripe, crazy pattern, like sweatshirt thing. This lady comes up to me and she goes, wow, I love your outfit. What do you do? Just, because I looked something. Yeah, you just. What do you do?
We talked about
that.
Yeah.
What do you do? And I go, I'm a photographer. Wow, what kind of photography? Everything.
Yep.
Geez, you got some stuff you could show me? Yeah, here's something I did the other day. Wow, this is pretty good. I actually got Mac Miller coming into town to perform at Red Rocks. He needs a lifestyle photographer when he's here. Have you ever done anything like that?
Yes.
Fuck yes, I have.
Yes.
I have.
Oh,
I have.
That's I specialize in it.
I'm gonna let you finish, but yeah, we're gonna talk about that for sure.
So I I had 30 days till he was here to perform at Red Rocks to really learn. And that's when I was practicing on friends, sneaking into clubs, sneaking into venues, just the mindset, again, King Kong state of mind, I can do it. I figured it out, ended up crushing it. I met Tory Lanez there. I did a lot of work for Tory Lanez, and that opened up doors for all these other artists. And the next thing you know, I get a phone call about, hey, I need you to shoot Post Malone. He's coming into Denver. Then I'm shooting Post Malone. Then I'm shooting 50 Cent. And then, it's just, you see, it all just started.
Yep.
With I'm going to be a photographer.
You said yes.
Someone came around with an opportunity. I wasn't like, oh, I'm just starting.
Yeah.
I'm just in college now, but I'm learning photography. Imagine if I said that.
Right.
Yeah. Imagine if
it would have been completely different.
Yeah, imagine a rap.
Right? Imagine if instead of saying what I said, oh, not really anything. I just go to school right now.
Yeah.
Conversation's over.
That's it.
Straight up. Oh, no, I don't.
So look how that's why it's so key, man. These little moments happen in our lives. These little moments happen in our lives where we don't even know how big of an impact they have until years later.
Yeah.
And we will never know what that result of that interaction was until years later. because it takes time for it to like see like, wow, that conversation led to all this shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean, that conversation led to me being in California, sitting in this room right now.
Exactly.
I would have never moved here.
So this was this you were still in Colorado at this time?
Still in Colorado. I just started photography. I just did my first shoot yesterday. You know,
I trip out on how people just say no or they're scared to say yes. You know, like there's been
again, fear. Fear. I'm telling you, fear is the killer of all dreams.
So many times I've been in a room where people are like, "Hey Mo, like I know you do this, but you know how to do this." No, I don't. But I tell them, yeah, I can make sure that I can do that for sure. I'll make it happen. And guess what? I figure it out, or I know somebody that knows how to do it. You know, I make things work, and because of that, that's where I'm at today. Even with Big Boy on the radio, legend, bro. I was working at iHeart, but Big Boy owns all his video content. I was like, I need to get connected with him somehow. Walk in the hallway. Hey, what's up, Big? My name's Mo, blah, blah, blah. This is what I do. All right, for sure. Cool. He has his own team. He can hire whoever he wants, whatever. One day, he finally goes, hey, Mo, like, do you know how to do this? Yeah, Big, I got you. Cool. I go and I do it. After that, hey, Mo, let me get your number. Hits me up every time. And I called Javon this day, bro. I started doing this for him. He starts calling me more, right? I'm in the room. I'm on the fucking radio in the morning now. He mentions me on the radio. I have homies that are blowing me up. Homegirls are blowing. I just heard Big Boy say Moses right here, this and that. I'm like, that's crazy. Like he's meant, you know. Finally, he goes, "Hey Mo, come to the studio real quick." I'm like, for sure. Like I'm thinking, okay, like I need to go film something. He goes, "Congrats." Throws me a package, buys me my own whole leather jacket, Big Boy's Neighborhood. My name, Moses, written across. He goes, welcome to the team.
That's cool.
Bro, that was just,
and that's also, that's on his part, that's also him paying it forward to you.
Yes.
Right. And that's what I think a lot of people, when they get successful, they forget to pay it forward. Like I want to be, one of the main reasons I want to be successful is to also give back and help someone else become successful.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a great fucking feeling. Right. Man, if you haven't blessed somebody with the skill set and knowledge and wisdom that you've learned, you're missing out. Right. Because if you can do that to the right person, that person actually does something with it, you're like, wow, I fucking made a difference, not only to them, but because they're making differences in other people's lives, I've also contributed to a bigger meaning here, you know, a bigger purpose. Yeah. And that is so rewarding. And that's, again, something that really keeps me going. It's just, you just want to influence and impact people to also do their own thing to, you know, positively influence and impact other people.
And it always feels better to give than to get too. That's 100%. So
especially
Armenians know about this. You guys are givers, bro.
That's all we do, bro. It's part of the culture. Like people know. A lot of people have like, bro, we went to a party, we did this event, photographers and shit. They're like, God damn, bro, they were tipping the shit out of us. Like we've never been tipped like that. Or like not even photographers, just bartenders and like, bro, somebody will come by the table, and not to toot too much of the Armenians' horns, but that's a part of the culture, bro. That's we like to give, and it's true. You do feel it, bro. You feel better when you're like, fuck, you know, like I gave it. What the fucking point of getting it all the time and doing it for yourself? Some selfish, weird shit, bro. Yeah, you gotta help those around you that are helping you in that moment. Yeah. Whether it's a small thing like they just put a plate in front of you, even if you're at cheesecake. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter, bro. So I agree with everything you said.
You know what's the greatest thing too? I love seeing when this happens, right? Let's say there's a guy here, he's Mr. Big Man, and there's a little man over here, and little big man shoulders little man. Yeah. Little man goes off to be bigger than big man. Yep. And little man, who's now big man, runs into big man, and big man sucking on his cock, trying to be like, oh man, you know, you're so this, that, the other. And that just is even more of a tall example. Why? Like I say, everyone is human to human. And you got to be right to everybody because, you know, everyone has the potential to be where you want to be or better.
Exactly.
You know?
Hey, you know what?
I love that you say human and human, bro. You got to put that on a shirt.
Let me say one thing from you who know me personally and everything like that. And I tell the hotel of, you know, where I was coming from first before we started the podcast, where I was working at. That was somebody who I put on. It was one of my friends, and he was literally doing a service for me and I was like like I don't know how to explain. I was just bigger in the operation, right? He drastically surpassed me, and then I turned around. Now I'm working for him for some time, right?
Yeah.
But obviously, this is my boy. We're very close friends.
But because you did right to him,
yes.
now him becoming bigger is helping you out.
Yes.
And that's why it's like,
Reciprocation.
just full circle moment.
Yeah.
Be right, be good, and
That's how
shit
it
comes
needs
back.
to be, and a lot of people don't see it.
But I do want to give some insight to other people too as well, because in scenarios like that, you do have two choices. When you're that person who's being looked down upon, and they're shouldering you and all these things, and now you're up, and now you're above the person who was mistreating you or doing whatever they were doing. You can have the option to put that person down. That's your prerogative. Or again, you can have a better feeling of, you know what, I'm not going to be to you who you were to me when you were in this position.
Right.
And that's my thing that I would advise people. Forget them. Don't let people change who you are.
Be the bigger person, essentially.
Exactly.
And not even be the bigger person, remain you. Don't let the world change you. If you were good when you were down, don't get up and become this devil or whatever.
Yeah.
Now stay who you were,
I've seen too many, bro. They get money, they get places, and it's like, bro, you were a humble person 4 years ago. So was that humbleness even real to begin with? Or was it just like you were playing, you thought you were dealing with the cards you had at the moment, but now you're Mr. driving a McLaren and you're fucking, hey, yo, over here and shit. Like, what's up with that, bro?
Hey,
You know,
yo.
like, yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of A's and O's and what you were talking about, bigger man, have you seen Tulsa King over here? The show?
Oh, I have seen it.
I think I've heard of it. I don't
With
know if I've
Sylvester
seen it.
Stallone.
No.
It's fire, bro.
It's a gangster show.
Tulsa King, yeah, it's dope.
Banger.
Just one more point is that, everything that we're talking about, it's funny because I feel like I've never failed. When we're talking about like going into opportunities, like how you're saying you took that opportunity and whatnot, obviously you didn't fail. You know what I mean? I don't like, and that's what I think people are afraid of, is I feel like when people are going into a situation and they're like, hey, do you know how to do this? And they're just like, no, it's because they're afraid that if they try and do it, they're going to fail.
Yeah.
You can't fail. It's like, you cannot fail. Whatever you produce, people, if they're willing to work with you in the first place, they're going to accept it. I'm not telling you to put some trash out there, but even when it comes to film and your knowledge of film and everywhere that you've brought me and whatnot, I've just done it, and I've never failed.
They always give us praise with everything we do.
I don't know if you looked at that footage yet. Did you see the color correction? I
still
have
haven't
not
seen it.
I have
I'm
not.
gonna look at it, and I'm sending it today.
Yeah,
yeah, bro.
We need a color correction, need a color grading. Never did it. I did it, and I know they're going to be satisfied with
bro.
it.
It just for you guys that want to make it. I'm giving you this advice, right? If you don't know how to do it, say you do and figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. Start the mentality of just figure it out.
Yeah.
That's real shit. Instead of I don't know.
Like, why are you going to say like, oh, well, I just started. Oh, I'm in college. No, you have this connection right here. You have to say yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, don't lose the
100%.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Unless you're a dumbass, then don't do it. It's like, you fuck everything up, and they're like,
Unless you like that shit.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Then make what does he say? Then go get a job at fucking McDonald's. Like Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Go ahead, my bad, Max. Go ahead.
Speaking of, oh no, go ahead, Max.
What I have nothing to go
Okay,
ahead.
my bad, Mo. Go ahead.
I was gonna go on movies. So, movie of the day, because
Break it down.
this man right here loves movies. He watches at least 1 or 2 a night. You said, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Bro.
okay.
Gang shit.
I'm a movie guy. I direct, I write, I produce. Javon also does that. Max he's artistic. He loves movies as well. He hit me up about a movie yesterday. I said it was trash. He was like, what the
Okay,
fuck?
bro, it's not
He wanted
that
to bring it
bad,
up today. Bro, it's trash.
Have you seen Alto Nights?
What is it?
Alto Nights, the new De Niro movie, and De Niro's just
trash.
Listen, here's the
trash.
thing with De Niro. Can I please say this?
Yeah, go for it.
The guy is the same character in every single fucking movie. I like De Niro, but he's the same guy. I don't care if it's
Have you
Taxi
seen Raging
Driver.
Bull? Have you seen Taxi? Have
Bro,
you
he's the
seen-
same person. He's just like, Hold on,
No,
take the glass
because
off.
he's different. He's a different person.
Hey, those
from-
are good faces,
Over
bro.
it. Hey,
he's a
look, it's the
different
same shit,
no,
bro.
he's different from
But it's
Goodfellas
the
and
same.
Casino.
It's the same personality. Am I wrong? It's like the same vibes
yes,
you're
you
getting.
are. I'm gonna say it. Yes, you are wrong.
Hey, dog, you want to step outside right now or what, bro? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if to what I've
I
seen.
get- no, I get- I get what
I
you
like
mean.
De Niro. I
I
don't
would
like
say
some
Joe
stuff he
Pesci is the
says,
same.
but no, you can't. Home Alone. You're
That's
comparing-
one.
Okay, but what about he's the lawyer? He's still like Italian mobster, right? What's the name of that one?
Which one?
Is that Pesci?
Oh, you're talking about My Cousin Vinny, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my cousin Vinny. One of the leather jacket. He pulls up into court and shit, right?
Yeah. But we're gonna talk about A Bronx Tale.
Okay.
Banger movie.
You guys have all seen it, right?
Of course, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This movie, written by the man himself,
Robert.
who's
It was Robert De Niro, no? Or he was a director.
No. Sonny, the one that plays Sonny, he's the one that wrote the movie.
But I know De Niro had an administrative role too in the movie.
Yeah, he was a producer.
There you
He was
go.
a producer. What's one of you guys' favorite scenes in the movie?
Real
Or
quick.
should I start?
First thing that comes to mind, I'll
Okay.
start. When he goes and he's like, Sonny, you know I respect you, but you can't be giving this shit to my kid. He's like, I love the kid like it's my fucking kid. What are you talking about over here? That's one of my favorite scenes. Like, you stay the fuck away from my kid. And he's like, don't fucking talk to me if I smack you over here. That's one of my favorite, because it's like,
Good one.
he would never step out of line with a mobster.
Yeah,
But
but
a
for his
father's
son,
love for his son, he's like, bro, I'm gonna lay it all
real.
down. I don't give a fuck who you are and what you do. It's my fucking kid, Sonny. And that's a beautiful scene for me, bro. I love that scene.
All right.
What's yours?
My favorite scene: the motorcyclist in the bar.
Now
Oh,
you just
that's a
can't leave.
banger scene.
That's my favorite too, bro. Now you just can't leave. Like
Yeah.
that is so perfect, bro. Like,
Now you just can't leave.
and you know it's a true story.
Yeah.
That actually happened.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And then I like the part, give her the door test.
Mhm.
You know,
Bro, you know what? Some girl actually opened up the door for me the other day.
This fool, dog.
I was tripping out.
When's the marriage, bro?
Nah, I don't know
Hey,
if that's gonna happen.
If you
anytime.
need an Armenian
But-
venue, dog, I got you.
I was tripping out because like I unlocked, I open the door, I walk her through the door, whatever, and I'm going around, and all of a sudden the door opens. I was like, I want to scream like Cologino, yes, like that's.
Will you marry
that's,
me?
that's probably such a good thing about the Bronx tattoo. Just the name Kalogino.
Kalogino.
And then C. You know,
C.
we should call him C for short. Yeah. And then another good lesson in that movie was he's chasing down that guy he owes him $20.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonny goes, look, for $20, he's out of your life. All the stress and everything you've been doing this for a guy over $20. It's not worth it. Just let him go. Your peace and your fucking
Mine,
worth
yeah.
more than $20.
Right.
You know, that's just a cool like little lesson where it doesn't have to be about money, just little things, you know?
Right.
Straight
That
up.
people stress so much over. Like, is it worth all this stress and this energy of you hounding over whatever this thing is? Or is it better just let it go and keep moving?
I was gonna say the bar scene as well. I love that scene.
Now you just can't leave.
Right. And for me, an element of the film, obviously, that I enjoyed was the interracial
Yeah,
relationship with Jane, who I thought was beautiful. Right.
and also we're writing a movie that's gonna.
No, don't give away no details. We gotta keep
I'm
that
not giving
under
away
wraps.
details. I'm
Okay,
just saying we're
yeah.
writing a movie right now that's
gonna be fire. That's all he was gonna
it's
tell you.
Gonna
so.
be legendary.
Listen,
It is.
That's all I'm
It
gonna
is.
say.
It
If you
is.
guys need any Armenian Mafia members, just call me. I got
Bro,
you guys.
no, like anybody that's a part of us is
Yeah, you're involved.
They're gonna be in the film. Yeah, you guys.
We'll find a way.
Even,
We'll write
even
you
you,
in.
bro. If you
Put
want
me in. I would love to. I've always wanted to act. So.
Really?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be. I mean, you do it in music videos in a way of your character.
Right.
But yeah, I'm such a movie head and I feel like I could play a good
Oh, bro,
movie. So.
you're
For
in.
sure.
You're
Okay.
in. We got
Let's go.
you. Like everybody's gonna be like. I'm talking like B
we have-
A-listers.
yeah,
like
for
we got
sure.
people that are gonna be involved in this. Where it's
I'm
gonna
excited
blow
to
up.
write this, man. Like
Bro,
we
we just
write
started-
the meat and the bones of it, but
Yeah.
then like we'll
We
write
just started
people in.
yesterday, but now like next week we're gonna start actually writing. I guarantee you, we write very quick.
Yeah.
It's gonna be done within a week.
Fuck yeah.
We'll probably start filming within. I want to say probably 4 months.
Right.
Because that's all pre-production, and then we're gonna start filming, and then the editing. I want to get it out by December. You know what? We should make that a goal. Actually,
Yeah. For sure.
I'm saying it right
quick
here
what
on
I
this
do, so
podcast. This movie's coming out by December.
there it is.
337, June 13th.
You're,
It said.
and you're gonna be in it, bro.
I'm gonna be in it.
And you're
ready.
gonna be in it. Everybody's
Yeah,
gonna be in it.
Listen.
And also we're doing other stuff where, we're doing shorts and everything like that. Where
Right.
specifically for Instagram and TikTok. If you want to add, bro, we will literally write something specifically for you
Yeah.
that whatever character you want to do, and we'll make it short.
Yeah. I mean, I'm open to all that stuff, So I'm open to all of it. If I like it, hell yeah.
He's a working man. Jason Statham.
Bro, I love that you work so much, bro. And for everybody that doesn't know, everybody that comes on, they're hard workers.
Yeah.
They see a goal in their life, they want to meet it,
Yeah.
and that's why you're
Exactly.
here, bro. And we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me. It's always cool to hear other people's insight. And then when you talk about it too, it makes you come back and realize what you need to keep doing or not be doing. Cause we all get off path here and there at times. We got to get realigned. So
That's right.
100%.
And you
Pleasure
can come
having
on
you, bro.
anytime,
Yeah.
bro. Anytime you want to come on.
yeah,
You're welcome.
no, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Where you want to tell the people again where to find you, where to look you up.
Yeah, if you want to follow any of my journey, what's going on, just Nathan James on all social platforms. So check it out.
Nathan James, my brother, it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming down. That's another episode of Boss Talk. I hope you guys learned something. And if you guys didn't, well, too bad.
Relook at it.
Yeah, watch it again.
and make
Watch it
sure your
again.
ears are on.
Yeah.
Put it on like a, what do you call it, the Dr. Dre speaker or something. Make it be loud.
Like that.
But that's another episode of
bro.
Boss Talk.
Boss Talk. Peace out, everybody.
Love.
All right.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
Thank
course,
you for
bro.
coming.
Appreciate it, brother.
enjoyed it, bro.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you, big dog.